What's going on, guys? No Guides here. Welcome back to another video. Now in today's video we have a meta 2 million coin team. We've got 5-star weak footers and 5-star skill moves. As usual, I'm going to explain to you why each player is meta, what chemistry to use, and of course you can use this for 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2 or 4-1-2-1-2. I'll go towards that at the end of the video. Now when you're building a team for about 2 million, you should always focus your money on a marksman striker, no matter what anyone else tells you. At the end of the day, you can, if the difference between someone like Hernandez at centre back, who's got, you know, an 80 rated play, and someone like Gomez who's 100k, they're not going to shoot towards goal. Your striker is going to take a shot towards goal. So you want to get the best possible striker to statistically improve your chance of scoring more goals, finishing your chances, and ultimately winning more games. So the only logic is to go with someone like Neymar. For me, the best player in the gold card in the game, without a shadow of a doubt. I have Mbappe, and Neymar is completely miles ahead of. People keep saying Mbappe is better. I think they're wrong. You know, that 5-star weak foot is really, really important this year. Even though they buffed 5-star weak foot 85%. But Neymar, look at those stats all in Division 1 and in FUT Champions. Honestly, one of the best players in the game. Now, another meta player that I really wanted to go with is Rashford. Now, obviously, Rashford is known to be a meta player this year, especially with that 5-star skill moves and 4-star weak foot. He's been buffed as well this year. Don't forget, he does have those stats buff as well. I think that's what really propels him this year. And that's why his price has stayed so high coming towards Black Friday. Now, obviously, with Neymar, we'll go Hunter on Neymar. And with Rashford, we're going to go with a finisher. The reason why is I like him because he's 5-star, 4-star. He is a bit expensive, so we had to make some compromises, but the compromises are worth it in the end. 93 sprint speed, can play on the wing, ram, cam, or striker, can play any one of those roles. I'd probably say put either a Deadeye or a finisher on him. I would probably put a finisher on him, play him in a cam role. He's got everything you need, and of course has that agility and balance. But it's that stature, even though he hasn't got the best strength. He's got decent strength, 76. He's not like some top tier tough player, but it's because he's 6'1", and with that combination of strength, which makes him a very good player, especially in that cam role. Now I wanted to go over with someone else. Now I wanted to create a very good attack, and obviously who's the best person I can use is Heung-min Son. Now Son is a player that I was debating, and I was thinking it's worth making some compromises to get Son in the game. Son is one of those players that can play left wing, right wing, left back, left mid, right mid. Can play anywhere along midfield. Can even put him in centre mid if you really want to. High work rates, get the job done on a wing. 5-star weak foot, of course, can play in cam or lam or ram. And of course, he's got that stamina, sprint speed, and he's got that high tier finishing. The most important thing with a meta team is you need to have good agility and balance throughout the entire team. If you don't, especially with the way the servers are going, you're really going to be stuck in mud. So that's what I would strongly say is you want someone who's got the good stats. That's why we've gone with Son. Now, I wanted to go over to the defensive player. Now, I wanted Kante here originally because Kante is one of the best CDMs in the game. There's no doubt about that. But I was looking at his Zakaria card and I was thinking he reminds me almost of 86 Vieira. The reason why is because he's just so good. You know, we're going to have a look at his stats in a second. But the most important thing is someone like, oh, by the way, for Son, you want to get a Hunter on him, of course, or an engine. For Zakaria, we want to buy him with a shadow. This is, of course, it's not the 83 card. So we actually want the 85 card. The Champions League card. Now the reason why that card is so special is because he's got some of the best stats in the game for a CDM. He is medium, but we'll get onto that in a second. He is medium, but at 6'3", with that stature, with those stats, with that physicality, that defending stats, and that dribbling, and of course he's got the good sprint speed and passing. Probably one of the best CDMs you can probably buy in the game. I'll definitely say he's probably one of the top 5 non-icon CDMs in the game. Obviously, there's not that many players better than him. Sometimes you can even argue he's better than Kante because this year height is important. You need the longer legs to actually get the interceptions because we know how the game is with interceptions. How does he get the link? Well, he gets the link with Mbabu. We've gone with Mbabu in right back. Mbabu has been one of the best right backs in the game for the past 3 iterations since FIFA 19. Obviously, we saw his surgence in the game when there was a crossing meta, and that's when I put him in my 15k team. And since then, he's got one of the best cards. I would definitely say put a shadow on him because as a winger, people always say put an anchor, but in my opinion, for left back and right back, you always want to max out the pace. Because think about this carefully, your opponent's wingers are going to have 99 pace. They're going to do an L1 trick and get in behind in front of you. You need the pace to catch up. He doesn't really need the physical anyway, so you put a shadow on him, gets a stand tackling and slide tackling up, and it becomes a top tier player. Now moving over to the left hand side, now we wanted someone that can link everyone together. We ended up going with Allen. The reason why I wanted Allen is I was thinking about going with some other players, but I think this year, in all honesty, I think the work rates are somewhat important. I think especially medium-high work rates. If you use medium-high work rates and you change, like for example, I have Sissoko on my team. Yes, he's a top tier player, probably one of the best CDM centre mids in the game. But without Kante, you fill that gap. You know when you go forward and you get counter attacked and you lose the ball, and you have that pocket of space that your opponent exploits always in behind. I think the medium-high work rates really make a big difference here, especially with AI movement. So I'll definitely go with someone like Allen. Get a shadow on him because of course he's too slow, and that's what gives a link to Neymar, because of course you want Neymar on full chemistry. Then of course who goes alongside him is Lucas. Now Lucas Moura can play in any position again. He's more of a winger, but you can play him as a cam. So if you do have a cheap team, you can play him on as a cam. But for this position, and he's going to be in striker or as a right forward. But in game, probably play as either a lamb or a ram, but not near the cam, because obviously we've got Rashford and we've got Son for that. Now going over to left back, we've gone with Telles. I think probably the best left back in the Premier League now. There's only one other contender in my opinion, and that is the Van Aanholt, the rule breaker, whatever that card is called. But Telles really edges it for me, and it's mainly just because he has that passing. Obviously being a left foot on a left hand side, his weak foot is a bit diabolical, let's be honest, but of course he's got that really good long passing curve for the driven through balls down the line, so it's exceptional and important to have someone like him. And of course his height is not too bad, 5'11", good stamina, and he can do everything. Now for the centre backs, I would love to go more unorthodox approach, but I think Gomez is probably the best person you can get for centre back. With the budget, I think for 100k he's probably one of the best centre backs you can buy in the game. There isn't really anyone else better than him. You can argue Van Dijk is good, but I think the pace is the most important thing. So you want to stop getting counter attacked, you need someone like Gomez in your team. Still slap a shadow on him just to get that 95 sprint speed and get the acceleration up, but he's got that stats already. Of course he's 6'2", so he's basically a wall at the back. And obviously the good combination, someone alongside him, will be someone like Walker. Now you can play Wan-Bissaka here, but I think Walker is the best centre back, one of the best centre backs I've used. I will probably put in my top 3 centre backs I've used this year, players off chemistry, even on 7 chemistry. Mukiele, the rule breaker objective card, was number 1. Semedo number 2 because that agility and balance, and number 3 was Walker. Now for most of you, 99% of you guys watching this video, he'll be better than any centre back. People always cry about 7 chemistry, even if he's off. That's the wrong Walker, by the way. I actually meant the right back Walker. Even if he's off chemistry, it doesn't matter, because you know at the chemistry, it doesn't make a difference. At 7 chemistry, the best advice I can give to you, if you're ever skeptical about chemistry and you're ever wondering, are players off chemistry, do they perform? Try using a player off chemistry in the same position for 30 games. I guarantee you will not notice a difference. De Gea, of course, to go in goal. I'd definitely say put a glove on him. I've been using De Gea since his intervention on my team, in fact. And of course, he's played 174 games for me. I don't really say all goalkeepers. There's no real meta goalkeeper like Ter Stegen last year, but he does get that job done very well. But honestly, you know, I'm not even joking. Mr. Walker can definitely get that job done very well. He's got the jumping as well, 83 jumping. And he's 6 foot. If you want, you can put an anchor on him. A shadow and anchor is fine. I would say definitely go towards anchor. But just look at those stats. Ignore the 7 chemistry, right? Even with no chemistry boost, name me one centre back in the Premier League that's better than him. There is none. Even you can argue Gomez is probably inferior to him, just because he doesn't have the pace that Walker does have. And that is a team. So how does it work for chemistry? Because you think it's only 6 chemistry players off chem. It doesn't work like that. This is how it works like in game. So how do we have this? Okay, so Son gets 7 chemistry, and on 7 chemistry is completely fine. Just to give you a bit of an example, if you put Son on 7 chemistry, it goes back to the same principle. Who is better than Son on 7 chemistry in the Premier League? No one. Look at those stats. He's fantastic. So Son gets 7 chemistry. Lucas is a winger, so 7 chemistry is not the end of the world. Allen on 10. Rashford on 7. Zakaria gets 8, but that's fine. Mbabu, Walker at centre back, De Gea, Gomez, and Telles. Now, how would I line this up? Now, if you're going to play a 4-2-3-1, I'd probably go something like this. I would put Neymar in striker. Now, the way you line up the defense is completely up to you. I would say, to be honest, in my opinion, I would probably go with Son in cam, because I prefer the 5-star weak foot. but Rashford is equally as good. All these players, in fact, you can rotate all these players. I would say leave Son on the wing, but definitely leave Neymar on the strike. He's definitely the best strike I have used in the game, and is probably who I would prefer. And that's the way I'll line up at the back as well. If you're going to play a 4-4-2, it'll be the exact same thing. And on the wing, the only difference I would say in a 4-4-2 is I would probably put Son in strike alongside Neymar, because you have 2 5-star weak footers. But of course, you can always interchange. You know, if you prefer someone else, you can always interchange. And if you're going to play a 4-1-2-1-2 second variation, I would go Rashford over here. I'll probably put Son in striker, and I'll put Zachary in midfield with Lucas. Now, if you use my formations with Lucas, he'll make that running in behind. Alright, if not, Son can play that role very, very well. And of course, you can play Lucas as a cam. And that's pretty much the way I will line it up in game. And that's probably the best, in my opinion, 2 million coin squad. Now, looking back at the original squad, I was going to get someone like Kante and get rid of him, and get someone like Dembele in. But I think, to be honest, for the budget to keep it under 2 million, in fact, the cost of this team right now is basically 1.6. It will go down a bit. On Thursday, it will be under 2 million. It's 1.6 on Xbox, 2 million on PS4. It will go down a bit further. If you don't have to use Gomez, you can use Ake if you really want to. But I think that's probably the best team that money can buy for 2 million coins. And I'll definitely go along with something like that. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Take it easy, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out, guys.